So are you ready to be infused with love and light this morning?
Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce you to Dennis McBride, and he is going to do the music for us today, and he's going to get us started.
Hello, folks. How y'all doing? Well, I hope you enjoy the song. It says I changed the words slightly on it because you guys have a Disney theme this month, so I thought, well, I like this song, but the words originally don't go as well. But we'll try this, and I think you'll catch along. You got a friend in God. We got a friend in God. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. Now just remember what your old past said. I said we got a friend in God. 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 You got your troubles, but I got them too. But there isn't anything that I wouldn't do for you. Stick together and we'll see it through because we got a friend in God. We got a friend in God. Now some folks may be smarter than I am. You know they're big and stronger too. But there isn't anything God wouldn't do for you. We'll see it through because as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see that it's our destiny. You know why? We got a friend in God. You know what I mean? We got a friend in God. Y'all say it for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, perfect way to get it started this morning. So good morning. I'm Reverend Belinda, and I'm presiding over the order service today, and it's lovely to see everybody. Our first order of business is to release the kids. Do we have a teacher to go with the kids this morning? There they, oh boy. Oh, right, thank you so much. Have a good time. So anyway, our first thing that we usually do is say really loud with your outside voice our vision statement. So let's do that together. Lighting the path of peace together, each one of us. And each one of us, our role is so important in lifting the vibration of each other. So thank you for doing your work. So a little bit about us. We are a spiritually open, inclusive community. You know, if you've had some challenges with dogma, religion, those things in the past, we try to be as open and inclusive, loving, bring that vibration of peace and joy to each other, be a mirror for each other as well, so that we can do our learning and our growing together, because we do know that all paths lead to the divine. You can't get it wrong. It's already built into the system, right? And this place we really do believe is a place to learn and grow together. That's the biggest thing we can do. Sunday's great. It's great for being uplifted and have joy take you into your week. But in our classes, we really do the work, where we really get in and take a look. And how can I be a better human being? And how can I really be at that channel for the divine? We also want to make this a safe place as well, so that we can hold that sacred space for each other as we grow in consciousness. So thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. I have to bring up Marcy to do some announcements for us and let us know what's going on today. Real quick, yeah, actually, if you wouldn't mind turning off your cell phones before we really get going, I appreciate it. Did you do your, okay, you're right. Anybody here for the first time? All right, all you guys. Nice to have you here. Really nice. We have some information to share with you this morning. Just If you have any questions, there are practitioners here this morning that one can answer your questions. But the other thing that we really do, especially in our classes, is learn what's called affirmative prayer. And we offer that after service, complimentary. If there's something that you're trying to bring into your life or something that you would really like to release, seek one of us out. Let's all the practitioners, please raise your hands. So we're here for questions or prayer. So now I'd like to bring up Marcy for the announcement. I'm a little out of practice. I'll get there.
Yes, thank you, Reverend Belinda. All right, so here is our theme for August. As Dennis said, it is Dancing with the Divine Disney, and so we are having some fun with that. We had lots of costumes, lots of music last week. People have asked me, if someone wants to wear a costume anytime this month, Disney costumes are absolutely appropriate, so feel free. If you didn't get a chance to do it last week, or if you did and you just want to do it again. So today we have our very wonderful Reverend Sherry. She switched with Reverend Pixie, who is out on the East Coast for a funeral. So thank you for being here, Reverend Sherry. And then next week we'll have Reverend Donna Apadone. Then the following we're going to have Reverend Kathy Wilson speaking. And then this is a 5-week Sunday. So we have the wonderful Daniel Namod speaking on August 31st. Don't miss that. He's going to speak. He's going to bring his amazing music. And then there'll be a concert afterwards, too. So make sure that you show up for that and show him a lot of love and just fill your soul. Our teen play date will be the 15th, August 15th on Friday. So all the teens show up. They have a great time. They have a space where they can just do art and hang out and talk and just be themselves. So if you know anyone who's a teen, who has a teen, send them on over. We would love to have them here. Again, Daniel Namod live in concert here at the Amani Center. It's going to start probably around 12:15 after service. Then we have potluck, so there'll be food, grab something to eat, and then come in and listen to Daniel, hear his stories, hear his beautiful music. That is $20 in advance or $25 at the door. Suggested love donation. So don't not come because you can't afford it. He wants you here. We want you here. Just show up. You will love Daniel if you haven't seen him before or if you have. So this really didn't need to be in here because we did this on Friday and Saturday. We still do need to do some work on the kids' trailer, but we painted or stained the doors. You may have noticed the smell. Sorry about that. But they look fantastic, so everybody take a moment to appreciate them. If you were here Friday or Saturday helping, stand up, take a round of applause. Sandra, AJ was here, he's outside, Christoph. Janet and AJ's kids were here, the girls were staining, so we had a great crew. We had both days, we had lots of folks, Kathy and Brian. So thank you to everyone who showed up for that. We've been wanting to get those done for a while. I know it's a little smelly. Hopefully it'll be aired out by next week. And if you want to hear about the fire I had in the back of my pickup truck as a result, see me afterwards. Spontaneous combustion is absolutely a thing. All right. And it was a full moon, of course, so we know these things. Chair yoga every Tuesday at 11:30 over across the parking lot. Staying grounded every Thursday at 11:11. That is a support group, a group to come together, do some prayer, some meditation, and just share what's going on, and then lift it up, take it to a higher place, find the tools. And then Course in Miracles every Thursday at 3:30 at the Jaeger home. So lots of ways to do the work to stay connected every week. If you have not already silenced your phone, please do so, and then Reverend Belinda is going to bless the service. So thank you, everyone.
So let's just take a moment to go inward. I would invite you to try to sit upright in your chair with your feet flat on the floor. Maybe closing your eyes and gazing gently upward at that point of light. That point of the divine, right where we are, this morning, this day, right where you're sitting. We are perfect and beautiful channels of the divine. And this place we call the Amani Center has welcomed us here, that we may join in communion together. And for this, we are so blessed to have this place, to have each other, to have the divine right at the very center of our being, that we are the bright lights that the world has waited for. So we bless ourselves and we bless each other, taking this beautiful message today and all that we gain from this service out into the world and lift others up by our pure intention and vibration. So we're so grateful for you, for this place, for the life and love of the divine as ourselves. And so we release this, letting it go, because we know it is the truth of our very being, as we say together, and so it is. We'll bring Marcy up again to do our affirmation today.
All right, so we're going to speak our affirmation aloud together. The first time we're going to say it with energy and really feel it into our hearts, accept it into our lives if it feels correct to you. The second time we'll bring it down and we'll speak it in a whisper and really just let it sort of soak on in. And then the third time, just please join me mentally as I speak it aloud. All right, let's begin. Divine presence reveals itself to me in my ordinary life, and I am in gratitude for these revelations. Divine presence reveals itself to me in my ordinary life, and I am gratitude for these revelations. Divine presence reveals itself to me in my ordinary life, and I am in gratitude for these divine revelations. And together we say, and so it is. Today's affirmation was brought to us by the wonderful Reverend Sherry Wynn. All right, and so now we're going to have another song from Dennis that will lead us into our meditation. music to bring us into our meditation. Just breathing, receiving that deep cleansing breath into the lungs and the belly, becoming fully awake and aware and present for this divine instant. Allowing your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. As we slow the breath, we slow the nervous system. We let all of the to-do lists and the chatter fall silent just for a moment. And we turn within towards that source, spirit, God, the universe, science, nature, whatever word you use to describe that which created us, created all that is, and breathes in and through us every day, bringing us everything we need for our most joyful, purposeful, connected, and impactful life, right now and always. So as you breathe into this space, we'll take a few moments in the silence. Just be open. Just be silent. Just be. And now we'll stay a few more moments in this space of quiet and connection. And we'll take a moment for a divine healing prayer. This is our opportunity to bring to mind any people, any places, any situations that we feel could use this shining light of love and divine healing and knowing the truth for whomever, whatever it is. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to speak aloud the name of the people, the places, the situations that you just want to shine this loving, healing light upon. And don't forget yourself. And so let's speak it aloud right now. Feeling the energy of all those we have named and continue to name or name in our minds. Feel this energy with the truth of all situations and people, that they are connected and one with Spirit. And that in spite of what we see, in spite of what appears before our eyes, that all is well, that there is a larger plan unfolding for a better way of being on the planet. And so just sending love and grace and comfort to all those who are suffering in any way right now, in all situations that appear discordant. We breathe our loving energy into them, knowing that in truth all is unfolding divinely, and that all is well and will be well in the end. And so with great gratitude for each and every person showing up here to do this good work, for those who are not here today, who might be watching online or watching even later the recording, for everyone reaching out in this world for something better, I just share great gratitude, and I release this word into the law, knowing that as I speak it, it is done, and that all is truly well. And together we say, and so it is. All right, now we're going to have another song from Dennis.
Cool.
Yes.
You know, when they asked me to do this and they said that I was doing Disney songs, I've always wanted to sing this song, and I play a lot of places and things, and so I've never had the opportunity to do this song, but I truly love the words of this song. It's from, well, maybe not their best cartoon of all time. It's from Pocahontas, but the words of this song mean a great deal more than just a cartoon. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew, Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue-corn moon, or watched the grinning bobcat white grin? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what it's worth. Rainstorm and the rivers are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends. And we're all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. High does the sycamore grow. If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue-corn moon. For whether we're white or copper skin, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. We need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
don't know why, but I just had to do that. So thank you for being here. This morning you could be anywhere, and you chose to be here, and you're gracing us with the energy of who you are. So I want you to take a moment and look around at everyone that's here, because this configuration will never happen again, and say thank you to one another. I love hearing the little voice of the little one this morning. I always think that's such a blessing to us when we mix the gray hairs with the little tiny people and all the ones in between. Because that's what makes our world, is everyone. Everyone that brings whomever they are to whatever they are. Now, when we have a meeting called the Circle of Light, which is the practitioners and the ministers of this community, and we try and figure out what we're going to do each month, what we're going to say. And so this month, Dancing with the Divine Disney. I have to say, when I first heard it, I could feel that very serious spiritual part of me go, no. And I thought, oh, you got work to do. Because I do have a very serious nature about my spiritual path. I'm looking, I'm aware, I'm awake to all that goes on inside of me. All that happens to me, even the smallest nuances of somebody cutting me off in traffic and feeling that visceral kind of reaction. And I think, oh, they're the perfect teacher for me, because they're showing me that I still have stuff inside of me that I can let go of. There's lots more to explore. There's lots more revelations to have. So I chose the topic, Mystery, Magic, and Miracles. And you'll notice when I choose a topic, I always choose something relatively big so I can pull something to stick in there, because I'm not sure what's going to happen to me. I want to start off with a quote from Snow White. Remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. I was raised on Disney. I was raised I came from Michigan when I was 5 years old. My dad was transferred by Ford Motor Company, and we ended up in Whittier, California. And so we were very close to Anaheim. And so we got to be there as Walt Disney's, what do they call it? It's not Disney World. Disneyland. Yeah, I'm so here today. When Disneyland was introduced, and so we got to go and see and be a part of it. And I remember I loved reading all the stories about fantasy and magical beings and all those kinds of things. So I was raised on the happily forever after. Is anybody else raised on the happily forever after? Okay. And then I got to be in the world. And I got to have my imagination of what I thought was the world be transformed. But I always held on to that idea of happily ever after. That idea that dreams actually can manifest, that imagination is a good thing. Those of you who have been here before know that I have shared with you that I came out of the box a little bit different than other people. I saw things and heard things that weren't here. And I didn't realize that. I realized that in stages and steps as I grew up. Some people were afraid of me. Others would turn away from me. My family was a little concerned. I used to think they didn't like me, but I think they were concerned about how maybe the world would take me. And so they were in their own best way. This is my sister. She's a little strange, but we love her. You know, it took me a while to actually see past the words into the heart of what that was. Has anybody ever gone through that too? something is said, and maybe the way we take it in based on our lens, based on how we perceive reality, then is how we might take that information in. And then as we grow a little, we begin to see, oh, that really wasn't what they meant. It's how I took it. And so our whole lifetime is spent rubbing away the dirt, getting the film away from that place, that clear place inside ourselves that is really the seat of the soul, as Gary Zukav calls it. It is that place where we reside in communion with that which is sacred. You know, it's interesting how at this stage of things, I'm coming to terms with a lot of things in my life that my very small, formed, uneducated personality had a story about. And being in an older body, I've got to see all the things that my culture brought to me, which was very erroneous and very dangerous and somewhat violent. But I didn't see it as that. When we point our fingers at one another and say, you should be this way, that's an act out of fear and violence. And it's a subtle act. But we're being asked to look very clearly at what we have in our own minds, in our own containers, so that we can transform them. Because this is the beginning stages of the age of enlightenment. We have been preparing for this as a species for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And we're not in it alone. Think about what we talk about now, how speeded up evolution is. I mean, would we have 50 years ago talked about intergalactic stuff? Well, that would have been saved for science fiction novels and Disney. And the reality is it's real. And some of those ways in which the imagination or the dreamers or the inside out intuitive nature comes to us in story, so that it doesn't seem so frightening. Think about 50 years ago, could we talk about gender norms or trans or the right to life? So, and all of these things have the potential to be very uncomfortable, different, dangerous. And all of that is important for us to look at, because when I become uncomfortable, what that is a notice to me that I have bumped up against something in my own awareness that is not balanced or central to the flame of the divine in me, which is loving. And love has no borders and no boundaries and no requirements, and is only for a few. It is an energy, a principle that came from the very seed of creation on the day that, or in the moment that, that great mystery that we name came into existence and went this, and this, and this. And so the mystery is what we have named. And we have named it lots of different things because as a new species, we dealt with our survival as a species. And we needed help. And so this innate spark in us looked for something to connect with the mystery. And over time, we named it lots of things, and then we joined in with all the people that named it the same thing, and we became organized about it, and then we made a space between each other out of fear. And then we went about the business of proving how we were right, and that which we were afraid of was wrong. And this has been a discourse that we have gone through for a millennium. And now we're being asked to find that central place again during this bumpy incarnations. And there will be some generations to happen until all of this bumpy stuff sort of levels out and we're into experiencing the stage of enlightenment where the dreams and the magic and the intuitive guidance that we're getting from younger people or from even elders that are pulling information from the quantum field, we'll begin to see evidence of it. And I have to say to myself often, Sherry, don't be afraid. But sometimes fear visits me in the middle of the night or in something that I heard or in something that I saw, and fear is in my field again. And I have to welcome it and go, oh, here you are, an old story I've been carrying. Okay, you're not escaping me now. I'm not going to send it on its way. You're here with me now, and I'm going to dismantle you. I'm going to take you apart and use all the parts that I put together with you, and I'm going to do it in a different way. And that's the second step. See, the first thing is the great mystery. Boom, existence, boom. The second one is magic. That is where creation happens. See, creation goes on all the time, and there's laws and principles, and my training in metaphysics and my years of training have helped me to understand how prayer works, how creation works. The second is the place where the law of cause and effect, you've heard that, law of attraction, magnetics. There's something that when we place an idea or a feeling into, responds by making it so. It provides, we have the opportunity as the creators to put anything we want to in that. Now, here's the interesting thing about that magic place or that middle place where creation goes on. It does nothing but say yes to and respond. It doesn't say, well, I don't think that's a very good idea. Are you really wanting to create that? Is that what you want? How do you want it to look? No, that's not what happens. You put it in there, and the more energy you put it in there, and the more belief that you put it in there, and the more resolution you put it in there, and the more strength and power you put it in there, ta-da! It reveals itself in your very own life. You don't have to look for it, it'll show up. Now, when I first discovered that, my first thought was, oh my goodness. I have a mess to clean up. I have some messy things to clean up, but in the same respect, I had a lot of opportunities. Because when you're looking at the mystery, which is potentiality, it's the unmanifest. And if in this place where I'm going to call magic today, there's this opportunity for anything to happen, then we can do anything. And I'm requesting of you during these periods that you stay strong and anchored into the sacred part of you, because fear is a big, noisy, violent thing right now going on in our world. And it, as I've said before, and I can't say it more often, it's the old dismantling. It's falling apart. And even those words, dismantling, trigger the heck out of me. What about my Social Security, Medicaid for everybody else, and health care, and what about the schools, and how are we going to take care of all? You know, it's like, wait a minute, Sherry. This is the part of you that has bought into that love doesn't have a way. That what created you doesn't have a way. So when you become afraid, you need to get still. You need to get quiet. You need to learn how to breathe again. So whatever is shaken around in your awareness, you can purposely say, okay, I'm going to reorganize you and we're going to have fun. I'm going to be a little kid now and I'm going to be the wizard and we're going to remake it. And I'm going to make it a good place, and I'm going to have love in my light, and there's going to be light, and I'm going to have joy, and it's going to be fun, and everybody's going to have a place, and dang it, the whole world is going to be okay. And one day, in one incarnation or another, I'm going to be someplace where war is an old story and not in a timeline that I live in. Because it's an old story. And it really doesn't work. Never has worked, never will work. And I love how synchronistic your beautiful song was today, Pocahontas. I wake up often and I listen to our Carlos Nakai, who plays the flute. Do you know him? Native American. I love it because I have a busy inside going on. I have lots of things going on. I'm a multi-sensory being. And the older I get, the more aware I become, and the more difficult it seems to keep myself central to my flame. And so I have to do whatever I can to get peaceful again. So I listen to the woodwind. I listen to that Native American. There's something very elemental about that that takes me back into a number of lifetimes when I was that. And it helps me to find my happy place. My happy place. So because I was born with Disney, I loved all of it. I loved the whole thing about it. And I loved Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was magic, and Tinkerbell said, laughter is timeless. Imagination has no age, and dreams are forever. Now, come on. That's a truth. That's a metaphysical truth that came through and continues to come through vehicles, other people who have access to these other dimensions of reality. And I want us to be in that place where we look for it. We look for the miracles. We look for what does magic look like and how does it bring in the miracle? Now, here's the deal. We have dumbed down miracle. We have. The good thing about the creative aspect and being able to watch it on TV and read it in books and all that, it made miracles really fun and magic really fun. But then we got so involved in the great big experience of the miracle, we missed the everyday miracle. I'm breathing. How does that work? Well, we can look at science and they can tell it all and everything, but here's the deal. When I came into existence, I started breathing, and when I'm done, that'll be my last breath. And I love what the sages in the Hindu texts say, that we all come with a number of breaths. And when our incarnation is done and that breath is done, we'll be done. And I remember when my lovely soul man made his departure, he had some months and some years of struggle with his human body, and during the end, he even told me when we got together, and I said, yeah, I know we're not going to be together for a long time, but we made the most of it, and it was extraordinary. Still, he shows up and pats me on the head and goes, it's going to be okay, Sherry. And living with a clairvoyant and a mystic was really exactly what I needed to try and figure out who I was, and I lost my thread. Just like that. Gone. Where was I? Okay. Talking about how we dumb down miracles. We've gotten deadened with the amount of information we take in, with the amount of stuff that we have, with the amount of things that we do in short periods of time. So we've lost that connection that can really look at the ordinary life and go, holy moly, that is what a miracle looks like. I mean, everywhere we go, there is evidence, like that little sweet soul. That's a miracle. Everything about how that came into existence is beyond our capabilities of making it happen. We can take it all apart and explain how it works, but there's no way we can duplicate that miracle in the complexity of how it happens. And we as beings are very complex, and so when I distill down what happens inside of me when I see something and say, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Everything about that is wrong. And then I want to talk about how wrong it is and how I'm going to fix it. And I don't have the eyes to see behind the wrongness that, oh, that's just like me before I had the benefit of waking up. Oh, that situation has a perfect explanation for why it got there. No love. Everything that fear comes from is from the absence of love. The one and most great and most powerful tool that all the teachers before us came was to tell us, as a species, we have within us the capacity to be the vehicles to express love, even in the most direst of circumstances. We have the ability, and in that ability as the I am that I am, which is who we are inside of us, has the capacity to be love. And that is what our purpose is. It might come in different designs and the way that we bring it to the world, but this world of violence is starving for love. And we all have been given talents and gifts that express that love in science and sociology and humanity, in teaching, in giving, in receiving. What if in this lifetime your job was to receive love? What if you were the caretaker to receive love in all the ways that it was possible? Or on the other side, what if it was yours as a caretaker of giving love in all the ways? Now think about what a wide spectrum that is between giving and receiving, and then the infinite numbers of ways that that could appear in our manifest reality, and in that is the miracle. The miracle is called life. The miracle is life in every form of its existence that we can see and not see, that we know and don't know, that we perceive and don't perceive. The miracle is life. And I'll tell you, I have bumped up against this because you know what my prayer has been for the last 7 years? I had an experience where I thought I was going home, and I'm here. And I woke up with an absolutely blank canvas. People would say, well, what are you going to create? I have no idea. Well, I finally got to it. I had to create a passion for living my own life again. And because of your generosity to allow me to stand up here and be with you, I get to do one of the things that I was designed to do, which is to be a messenger. And the message, we will be living to see in this period of time beings from other planets and other galaxies. We will see them. If we don't physically see them, there will be those who do. If we're unable to auditorily hear them, there are others now that are able. And they love better than we do. They're more advanced societies. There's information that is being revealed here on this planet that ages ago, before this species came into being, that they came and seeded our consciousness so that we could evolve to the place, so that we could be a better species. And the better species that we are capable of being is magnificent love. Blinding love. Kind love. Generous love. Forgiving love. Love that out of itself continues to create miracles. And so I'd like to leave you with the very astute and wise Winnie the Pooh. A hug is always the right size. Blessings. Thank you. And don't forget to get a lot of hugs before you leave.
Great quotes. Well, we're having challenges up here this morning with the microphone, but now it's our time of joyous time of giving, and there's several ways that you can give. Because we don't have a mother church, we don't have someone else that we depend on. We are the center. We are this center. We are the Amani Center. So it's your gifts, tithes, and offerings that keep the doors open and have everyone showing up on Sundays. So here's a few ways. One, you can take a picture of this QR code. You can set up a recurring donation out of your account. That's what I do. So when I can't be here, I know. Perfect. Thank you. The recurring donation, that way you don't even have to think about it. It just goes. And you know what? If you really want a spiritual practice, I would do this before I got my paycheck. So the tithe went out before I got paid, because that's faith. Just thought I'd put that out there. It's a fun practice. Challenge yourself. It's interesting how it works. And let's see, at the bottom of every newsletter and most every email, whatever goes out from the center, there's a donate button. There's a donate button on our website. So there's several ways to give. And we'd like to have Dennis play some more music while we pass the baskets. That was me. Everyone?
Right. There it is. There's the mic. All right. Well, I just want to remind you one little thing, and thank you, Reverend Sherry. That was beautiful. This song goes along with what you were saying. But before I start this song, I'm just going to say, the opposite of war is not peace. The opposite of war is creativity. So if you create, you will find your peace. This is a song by Matisyahu. It says, well, you'll hear it. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I am breathing. And I pray don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. When negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. Because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that they don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same, stop all the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free. I'm proud to be under the same sun, singing from the freedom like whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. Because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that they don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, 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 one day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So we bless these tithes and offerings, knowing that the divine moves through each one of you, that these gifts that you've offered bless you and this Amani Center. For we know that the divine is prosperous and is full of abundance, opulent abundance. And so we accept this with a heart full of joy, knowing that as we give, we receive, and we grow in consciousness. So as we're so grateful for these offerings and for your presence here today, we release this and let it go, knowing everyone, everywhere is prospered, as we say together, and so it is. We're going to bring the kids up? Or and what now? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Invite everyone to stand and do our last song.
Yes, let's stand, and then if we have an opportunity, we'll let the kids come up if they get here in time. But yeah, stand, hold hands. Reverend Sherry, will you come sing with me?
Yeah.
All right. The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace.
And I know that you will ignite your spiritual self and bless all of those that you meet and this whole world. I know that. And so it is.